Hey TOO.BADASS people, today is day 17 of a 100-day monk mode challenge, and the quality is going to be a bit lower, but you can see the sunset or what is left out of it. So I did not want to record this video today. I do not think that I have the insights yet, and I don't think that I am emotionally ready to record the video today, but I'll try to give you the lessons I learned, the things I understood, and a vague idea of what's going on in the agency and in my own work. Because honestly, there are things that I am not yet ready to share, so I'll keep half of the stuff to myself. What about the intro that I forgot? So the most important lesson that I said in all the previous lesson videos that you don't have to waste them is respecting your time by removing the stuff that doesn't serve your goal, and always reviewing the things you do in a day that do not serve your goal. It's important because there are different periods, and sometimes some things are needed, like sport, specific portfolio works, specific pro bono cases, and sometimes you just have to eliminate them. Let's get to the insights. First, it's really interesting. It's about, we'll start with dating and then we'll go to business. I was listening to some dating podcast and they said, fix your shit, then go out. It's in short, right? They didn't literally say that, but that's what they meant. If you are looking for somebody great out there and you have great standards and requirements, why don't you fix yourself first? Fix your appearance, fix your health, your business or job situation, employment situation, your education, your mental health, all the stuff, the property, the car. There are so many things that you can fix and you can work on, like improve the lifestyle, the things that you do on a daily basis. I was for some reason so much in the camera that I'm gonna like it was too much. So what they do in dating life, they fix their shit first, and only then they go out on the market and they are able to meet the person who would match their standard and their level. And it's logical. Obviously, there are nuances, there are situations and stuff. We're not talking about that. We are talking about the logical rule. That's how logics work. Now, if you have a company and you have a product, why don't you fix your product first and then go out and search for a specific client? Right now, I think that we do have the level of a $5K project for branding agency, but we don't have a premium level of top world companies. We cannot reach out to them. We don't have enough followings. We don't have enough community. We don't have enough links. We don't have enough personal connections. Not enough even level of the portfolio works. I do recognize that, and I have to be perfectly honest with myself about that. And the thing that we're still working on the pro bono cases. We're still working on the old projects, still not taking on new ones. There still have a lot of things that are taking us back. But as soon as we free the time, we'll work on our own website finally, and we're gonna keep the style that we have. Just we have the branding for the agency. It's hard. The hardest part is to keep the branding that you already have, but we'll add up more interactions, animations, and really out of the line, out of the box stuff, just to create that wow effect that we need in the website. So fixing your product first and then going out for high level clients just because they want to pay attention to you. I recently prepared really great offer for Cody from, I literally forgot the name of the product, which is a shame of me. But it was Nord Media company with their website and stuff, and they are ready to take on branding agency for the project for 25K. And I made really awesome offer to them. I made a YouTube video that was edited like this once, and made a review of their website, and um, but that was not the thing that they would even read in a direct, so or in the LinkedIn. So obviously we're not on the level for these people of high, I don't know, to read our stuff. The next thing, if it's not broke, don't fix it. We just love new shiny things. If you have your slogan, logo, style, social media stuff, sales script, if you have your offer, presentation, deck, contracts, we constantly want to iterate, we constantly want to change that. If you do not have a problem, if it's not broken, why are we constantly reviewing that and wasting our time? That's what I used to do. Now I'm trying to cool myself down a little bit, and really what I've been hearing recently is lazy people are richer than those who are hardworking, and stupid people are more rich than those who are smart. And I consider myself to be smart and hardworking. That's that's why I'm in this position. So these hardworking and smart people, they often overthink stuff. They love doing stuff manually. They love doing stuff their way. They can't find a system that would replace them or they would work and make their life easier. And they can't live with imperfect product. We always want to iterate. We always want to add more, and we are overcomplicating that. And we're not putting our energy in the right spot. So if it's not broken, don't fix that. It might even get worse, or people might just be confused. If we're talking about the branding and style and the messaging that you are putting out there, or the sales strategy or the lead generation strategy, right? If you have not yet tested the initial strategy that you had enough, but you haven't sent out enough cold emails or WhatsApp messages, whatever is legal or illegal, why are you changing the strategy? You are giving up too early just because you haven't tested the first series long enough, which is stupid. That's what I did. Really, a lot of times I would start doing the specific script or specific type of message or specific project, right? Approach, and then I would send out like half of 1,000 emails, get like 2 replies, and I would do nothing with that. That's how broken our systems are. We're creative, but the systems are broken. The next insight. That's the main one of this video. That's a huge one, and I want to focus on that. Solid business is about solid relationships, value, and respect. Don't use manipulation in sales, like scarce spots, fake doubling the price, and give value at the end. I said a lot of stuff here that is, taken out of the context. What is solid business and what is fake business? There are a lot of hustlers out there, fake businesses that provide poor value, one-time service, and they don't give you that much of a unique connection, value, whatever. They just, they are trying the service out. Maybe they can deliver some kind of a pitch deck in Canva for one day, and they do that on the basic level, and then they change their strategy to doing mobile apps, and that's, I'm just talking about my own niche. But solid businesses and relationships, they take the projects that are bigger, that take more time to make, that requires them more of input and value, research and interest in the project, that is built on a either on a good contract, on really trusted relationships in between like the founder and the company providing the services, again about my niche, and it's built on mutual support, on you know being proactive and offering additional stuff, not just for upsell, but when you see the gap that should be filled, that can be the opportunity, the increase in sales. And that's all about genuine help, involvement, and not calculating every little hour that is spent or every little minute, but that is based on the output, on the result. But these types of this is how ideal business in my mind should function, and that's how I see ideal TOO.BADASS branding agency work. I had this idea since the foundation of it, and that's what I sold to my team, and they really got into that. And the main complaint, or right, the thing that they would say to me is that I am not, as a leader, delivering the level of projects, teamwork that we agreed upon, that is our standard and is our goal. I am okay. I'm trying to play a victim here and make a video maybe provocative, just because I'm in a little bit of bad mood. I'm honest today, but that's my responsibility. Honestly, I was not able for this whole year to deliver for my team the level of work and projects that would be enough for them. Same happened with some of the clients. So I'm working hard on making it all better, changing, like making the decisions that would change our behavior and my behavior. Now, a solid business for me is working on the full branding for a company, working on the name, on the logo, style, strategy of communication, and website, app if needed, social media, pitch decks, banners, ads for marketing, stuff for their messengers, right? And then ongoing cooperation for keeping up. Maybe the emails, like newsletter, should be designed in a certain way, or marketing campaign should be communicated in the right way. So the these projects where we're not calculating each and every minute we spend working, but we see the whole outcome. We're talking about huge scope of work, huge dedication, huge level of creativity, and better investment in our branding agency, meaning return, transaction, because all relations are transactional. These are the ideal projects that we are aiming for. So for me, this is solid business, and this fake manipulation in sales, where you're saying that I'm gonna double the price tomorrow, and then you're not. People are not trusting you. If you don't have enough long-term relations on social media with them, you're just giving fake promises, trying to get their money. If you are manipulating by saying we have 2 spots left, and then you have 4 spots left, and people will figure that out. People are not dumb, so it's not gonna work out, or it's gonna be like this is gonna work out in short term. And I guess I used some of the fake stuff earlier back in the day when I had my mentorship. So when I would launch the first course, or first like group, I would have students that would be fake, that would be just my friends in the group, or I would have fake ads with having like saying 2 spots left, and then like I don't have any limits. I don't have like my material is not limited. Maybe my time and attention is limited, but all that would just be just up from the sky, and it never worked. Nobody paid attention to that. People see when it's fake. So do the solid and honest shit, and people will see that's true. It's gonna take you a long way. Insight number 4 about monk mode. Monk mode gives you a solid ground for this solid business. It makes you grounded and balanced in tornado of people and emotions. Business, there are two types of people in the world: those who live with regret of not having left the work or the corporate job that they hate, and those who live with anxiety, those who actually have left the job and they started a business but they now are anxious. Business is the tornado. There are clients saying that they need A, B, and C, and there is team who is saying that they need that, and there is government who's telling you about the prices. There is audience on the social media that are telling you that they need something else. There are always, or maybe you are outsourcing other service processes, and everybody's gonna come to you with a problem, not a solution, most likely. It's always the anxiety, it's always the problem, it's often on the edge, and that's why 73% of CEOs have ADHD. And I was listening to this fact recently, and I'm like, oh, I also do have ADHD, so that it makes me a good CEO. that's really stupid, the most stupid thing. But this type of work gives you so much anxiety, so much of instability, that you need at least something else in your life being stable. For me, that is required, and this monk mode is giving me the lifestyle that keeps my emotions in place and keeps me put together, not falling apart all the time, which is sometimes hard. Insight number 5: for sales, compare in action and your product. Recently did that with one of my products, projects, where I would compare the regular way people do stuff and the new way, like the solution that we are providing, and that's really awesome. And obviously, it depends on your product and how good the solution to a problem it is, right? How huge of a problem it solves. For instance, I have a niece over, not a niece, a little sister, and we would go to sleep and listen to an audiobook. But there is a problem because we are always falling asleep before we can turn off the audiobook. So it keeps playing for maybe 10 minutes. You might ask us, like Netflix does, are you still watching and stuff? But it's still not perfectly at the moment when we remember that audiobook ends. And I started my entrepreneurial thinking and like startup stuff. And I'm like, what if we combine some of the products, like we have Whoop or Oura Ring, and track the pulse or like any of the metrics that might tell you the person is sleeping, and at what point of falling asleep do you stop listening to the audiobook, and it's going to be connected to the phone, and then the audiobook's going to stop, right? And I come up with this idea for the startup or for the project. But then I'm like sitting there, it's how many people do have this problem? Like, I don't regularly have this problem, and this is really small problem. So the solution is also small, and it probably already exists in the world. I'm not the genius, but you can't make enough of a money by solving not huge problem, and we need like larger problem. So what I was saying, yeah, if your product is solving small problem, maybe comparing an action and your product is not the best strategy, but it works at least somehow. The next insight: stay honest with yourself. What are you doing not enough? Where are you cheating? Where you can't recognize you're not making enough effort? Where are you cutting yourself a slack? And the quality of my video is getting lower and lower. Today I went for a run, and I'm running there, and I'm thinking, I just did 6 to 8 hours of work today, not 12. It's like I did half the time, half the effort. So the day is bad. It's not productive enough. And I was not able to recognize that, and I would want to be so perfect, and I want to be better than I was yesterday every day, that I would just skip that. I would make myself not notice the fact that I'm not working enough. But as I went for a run, I promised that I'm going to be honest with myself and with you. So I'm not working enough. I'm cutting myself slack. When it gets hard for me to work due to any reasons, I stop working and I go take a coffee, go for a run, go record a video, which is kind of good for me, for health or for emotional system, but it's not me being dedicated enough for the monk mode. So I'm putting not 100% effort right now, and I have to be honest about that, because that's gonna make me go more. Only if you recognize the problem, you can deal with that. The last insight question to you: how do you, honestly, I do not understand how to solve this insight, how to be with that. How do you stay at this solid business point, giving true value and keep your time in place, respect your team and work, but not get too transactional? For me, this is a question in business and relations that is always up. Okay, since I've been listening to a podcast about dating, I will start with analogy in that world and only then move on to the business world, just because it's easier to understand. You know, there are a type of people who have I forgot how it's called, but avoidant type of connection of love or something, and super when like there are people who want to spend all the time in the world. They are enjoying too much, like love bombing you, right? And there are people who love you in the way that they are avoiding you, like they have some kind of issues. Obviously there are healthy people and I don't know who I am, honestly. Just sometimes I understand when I like everything about the person, I would just spend the time and I would idealize that, and I would not notice any of the flaws, any of the problems, any of the red flags. I'm just gonna be totally like blinded, and I would be totally in the moment, in the process. Maybe like easy to fall in love with something type of person. Share that. Good. Now, if we're talking about agency and business and projects, I'm so easy to be sold on the project, to fall in love with the project, that like it became a problem for me. I'm saying yes too much. I should be saying no by default, and I should be taking more time for considering the option. I learned to do that with people actually. When they are like offering me to go somewhere, I would by default say no, and only then I'll get back and think twice about that. But about work and projects, I'm like, work is what I live for, and I'm gonna say yes to every opportunity when it's started to become a problem for me. I'm getting too invested, too like love the project that I could give my days and nights out to the project, and that's gonna be the true value. But you know, when you have a relations, now we're going back to the dating world. You know, when you have relations with a person who would give everything to you, who would just serve you all the time, put you first all the time, and not respect themselves, you're not interested in this kind of person. You don't respect this kind of people because they don't value themselves. So one of the phrases I said today was, give true value, give more, give extra service, extra product value, like for the branding agency, right? That's how I position myself in the agency. but do that at the end. Because with projects in business, you have a timeline. You start out with some tasks, you finish the task, and then you have some like time for the feedback. You keep in touch. You might add on bonuses at the end. Because if you are starting out in relations from the first date, and you position yourself like super perfect human being, like you are ideal, you are not saying a bad word, you are not saying a filler word, you are always like you always have your posture straight, you always have your clothes ironed and put together perfectly, you always know what to reply and how to. You're so perfect from the start, and people start believing that it's real you because you're too invested. You like trying too hard at the start, and then as your relations keep going, you start to coming back to your actual authentic self, and you start showing flaws. That's what I did with some projects. Actually, not with one project. I just noticed this trace in me that I'm being super perfect for the first like months or 2 months of the project, maybe dating, right? Analogy, and then again going back to my regular self. So I would spend. It happened with maybe five, I guess five projects in the last like half of a year, but mostly with all. So at the start, where I have a lot of energy, I would spend literally, I would not sleep night, but I would work on the project just to get it all on time, deliver it, and make it the best. Literally, I did not sleep like night. And when I'm saying that, it sounds easy, when in fact, I'm not trying to be complaining about that, but I'm trying to translate and show how hard that is. When you do not sleep at night, you in the morning you start to fall asleep. You can't function, right? Your hair would literally fall out, and your posture, like your back, would hurt, and you would not do the sport because you don't have the time, and you eat poorly just because you're tired. You can't cook normally because you didn't sleep, and your skin looks like shit, and you're just 20 years old, and you feel like a 60-year-old grandma. That's sometimes you are at the edge of like crying. But just because you try to be so perfect and you try to do all that done, just because you believe in the project that much, you invest a lot. Because sometimes I was promised different stuff, that this website would go on a certain platform where I would get an award for the website, and I would work my ass off, and then nothing happened. Or I would get other promises from the clients. It's and I would get sold on easy, and then I would work my ass off, and then only when I like 2 weeks later, I wake up from this work, like absence of life and total work life, and I start to set a little bit of boundaries because I see that this project is not ending, and I see that my effort, I don't see that anybody sees the effort that I put in, and I don't see the need to make efforts like that and to sacrifice my everything for the project, because it doesn't cost that much. I don't see the end of the project. I don't get the result that I expected at the first, and it's not the dream that I was sold to. It's not the super romantic fantasy. It's not the cartoon love story. I get back to reality and I see that I should be respecting myself more. And that's when relationships start to deteriorate, just because I'm not serving to my sacrifice anymore, not working day and night, not working my ass off, not going out of my way to just serve the client. And then most of the interactions ended badly. Not most, but I have many of them. When at the start and in the middle of the project, the client would say that I'm a dream designer for them. They are so happy. They're complimenting my everything, and some would disappear without paying. Some would keep not paying for half of a year. Some some would just without any feedback. Some would pay but not be satisfied with the result, and they would go. So honestly, we we're posting that we have great reviews, but not all the reviews of our reviews are perfect. I can for 100% say that we are giving like 100% of our energy, time, and effort, and that's the thing with which I leave the branding agency. But sadly, um, if you are doing your product or business, serving one supplier, serving one client, and going out of your way at the start will not get you good result or good review, because you have to go out of your way at the end, or sometimes you have to give them like the level of work and maybe just 10% more, but not much. Sadly, business loves transactional stuff, and sadly you have to stay this way. I do not think of myself as a transactional person. I do not know how to do that. I was brought up by people who would give and serve others and give everything and go out of their way, and I learned how, like from my parents, how to do that. But it's not serving me in any way with having the agency. So that's the thing I have a problem with. I don't know how to solve that. I have some ideas. I have experiments that I'm going to be holding soon, but I do not know how to go about that. And it's hard. It's hard to do the business, solid business, go out of your way, give true value, go extra, um, and not go transactional in business. But for now, I'm on the right path. Just yet. See you tomorrow. I give you a food for your thoughts, and today is gonna be happier and better day. See you.